Welcome to episode 72 of Star Wars and Scotch. I'm Kevin, as always joined by Tim. How are you, Tim?
Hey Kevin, that was quite the intro.
Yeah, but they won't know that, Tim.
This is episode. That was really good. That's really good. I like that.
That was some delicious King's Coast coffee I just sipped.
Yeah, I was telling you before we started the show, I found this cool little hack on TikTok. So I have an espresso machine and I love making espressos. But what they did is that, for cold brew, if you want to do a nitro cold brew style drink, you take espresso, you just pull a double shot, and then in your your frothing pitcher, you put ice, you put the espresso shot in, you fill it up with however much water you want. So you essentially make an Americano. That's an Americano. Americano is just espresso watered down to make coffee because Americans can't handle normal espresso. And therefore, that's where the name comes from. Anywho, you then take your frothing one from your espresso machine and then you just froth your drink like you would milk, but when you would make your cappuccino or latte. And there you go. You have a nitro style cold
It looks
brew,
good. I can see it.
And that's what I'm drinking right now. It has a nice little frothy head on the top. It's very creamy. It's really good. And it as it settles, it looks like a Guinness. It's really neat.
It does look like a Guinness. It looks like you're drinking beer first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Star Wars and Scotch.
And then what Scotch did you add to it?
So if I was drinking Scotch, I would probably put I don't know. I'd probably put some type of creamy Baileys or something, or something like that. Okay. I feel like you'd have to do a dessert whiskey or a dessert Scotch or something, some type of dessert mix in there. You can't just I don't know, maybe just straight bullet. Just
there you go. That's the man I know.
I don't know. I like to be classy with my drinks, though, Kevin. I'm a very classy person.
We're getting old, so we want to keep the class.
I've been like this for a while.
Not be degenerate.
12 years old. Get me a Manhattan. Anyways. Anywho, Star Wars. Hey guys.
Yeah, go over to kingscoastcoffee.com and put some orders in. The big thing there is there's some cool stuff coming in the spring from King's Coast. New stuff, new NEW that you might want to pay attention to, because we bought some equipment last year that might benefit your coffee drinking experience. kingscoastcoffee.com. Yeah, it was there's been some Star Wars things this week. Let's start with Obi-Wan. John Williams is making the theme. That broke literally the afternoon after we recorded.
It makes sense, though. I mean, again, back to it's the 45th anniversary of the release of Episode 4 of A New Hope, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's
but
awesome.
The man just turned 90 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but good for him. He's like Dick Van Dyke. These guys are just gonna keep on working and doing their thing for forever.
I just saw a video of Dick Van Dyke dancing at some event.
That is his secret to life. So a bunch of people have been asking him, what keeps you active? What keeps you happy? What has allowed you to continue living on this long? He just loves dancing. That's just
96.
So cool.
With a 50-year-old wife.
Whoa, wee wow.
Whoa, wee wow. Yeah, no, he he has old man face, so he grew his beard out, so now he just looks like a jolly old man. No, Dick Van Dyke.
Oh,
yeah.
Does John Williams look like a jolly old man?
John Williams just looks like a stern headmaster of a school or something.
Oh, he does. Yeah, or some fellow that he looks Amish.
Also, he's only smiling in pictures where he is composing and
or winning an Academy Award.
Yeah, every other picture he's frowning. But legendary John Williams, who we've said on the show a million times, Star Wars is not Star Wars without John Williams.
There's a lot of different franchises that just aren't their own without his work. It's crazy. He's been the life source of so many different movies.
I saw a TikTok this morning that was like, Johnny, you done with that dinosaur movie theme yet? And he's like, almost finished. And then it was like him, the guy's pretending to direct. He's like, da, 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 da. And then the other guy looks and takes his glasses off just like Ian does in Jurassic Park, and he starts crying as the theme plays. Didn't amazing. John Williams did he do Pirates?
He did E.T. He did the Superman theme song. Damn, what else is
God, Superman. I forgot he did Superman. No, he didn't do Pirates.
Home Alone.
That was Hans Zimmer.
That's all I got. That's all I got right now.
But that's all I got. Hey, I just named 5 of the most legendary movies of all time. That's all I got.
That's funny. You can tell when a Hans Zimmer or a John Williams just song comes on. You're just like, I know what that is. They just like, they have that. They definitely leave a signature.
I love people who get mad at me because I can't tell the difference. Like, I don't remember who, like I just said.
Oh, John Williams did Harry Potter.
Oh, wow. People get mad. Like Mindy, our COO, is she loves movie soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
So if you confuse John Williams and Hans Zimmer, she gets mad at you.
Oh.
Because they're 2 people.
They are 2 people.
I'm like, okay. All right. Sorry about that. I just, I get them confused. I feel like it's
because you're old, Kevin. That's fine.
Wow.
And your brain's just full of just nothing but Star Wars.
Wow.
So we get it.
Wow. That hurts. Yeah, so John Williams is composing the main theme for Obi-Wan, which is exciting. Not the whole show. Okay, people calm down. The man is 90. Let's let him relax. But he made the theme, which is awesome. And Tim, I'm sure it has something to do with the fact that it is the 45th anniversary, which is exciting.
Dude, did you know that he did the entire score for Bad Batch?
No.
I'm going through his filmography. He did all. Okay. So he did 1, 2, 3, 4. He did 5 episodes for the Bad Batch. Oh, wait, never mind. They're just scoring the original, the theme. And no, it's his theme and score. Yeah, no, he did it all. That's crazy.
Wow.
He did Resistance.
Oh, that show's
Lost
terrible.
in Space. Oh, the Netflix show, Lost in Space. Yeah. Fantastic.
I just finished season 2.
He did the theme for that. Fantastic.
Did you watch all 3 seasons?
We haven't finished the last season. Very good.
I just finished season 2. I love that show. That show's great because, a lot of the times when you have young kids, it's difficult to get them into the fandoms you want them to. And some people are, they let their kids watch Marvel, Star Wars at a young age. I'm a little bit traditional. I want to wait until I expose my kids to certain things. So, like Audrey didn't see Star Wars till she was 8 or 9 and somehow didn't have it ruined for her. Hunter has seen some of the Star Wars movies, but I don't think he's processed them. So like his friend is watching through the MCU and I'm like, no, you're not mature enough to do the MCU yet because I don't want to ruin that payoff for him at the end. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It is what it is, but I'm trying to preserve the fandoms that I love so my kids can enjoy them too.
So I'm looking through his filmography and he's accredited for every time his song gets used. So anytime the original Star Wars theme song comes on, he's accredited. So I'm looking at like Bad Batch. So he's accredited for every episode, but then he also scored 3 episodes. He is on the credits for every single episode for Rebels. As the
Do you feel like he gets a call from Lucas and he's like, yeah, whatever you want, I'll do it. It's fine.
That's the whole thing is like, so does he get royalty checks for every single episode?
I'm sure he does.
This guy's just rolling in it.
Oh yeah, he is. But
holy moly.
I'm fine with someone making that kind of money and getting credited when they, for something so legendary.
Yeah.
The big thing with him is if he touches anything, look how excited we get.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You're like, oh, you're going to score. And we don't have that much time left. It's kind of like Stan Lee. Like we knew we were working with borrowed time there.
Yeah, for sure.
It still depresses me. I was thinking about that this weekend. I was playing Avengers with Hunter and I'm like, he didn't see the ending and that sucks.
It does suck.
Think about it. Like if Stan saw that ending, that would have been it. He could have left us.
Excelsior.
Man, it just sucks. It just sucks. I finished Loki, by the way. What a great show.
Excellent to talk about that later.
Yeah. So the other thing with Obi-Wan is they mentioned this week that there will be 2 lightsaber fights between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader.
You're going to fight twice?
Twice on the show they will fight. I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
What?
People
Why?
are also now, there's rumors and speculation that we're going to get Clone Wars flashbacks.
Well, that makes sense.
That's why Hayden is, coming back, is mainly for the flashbacks.
Well, sure. But I mean, but he also gets to be Darth Vader.
Master.
Well, I mean, okay, so Clone Wars Annie, I really hope they're gonna lean on the Dave Filoni version of Anakin and not the Lucas version of Anakin, because we all know that animated Clone Wars version of Anakin is a badass. He's great. He's super fun. He's still kind of like that he can be a little whiny at times, but for the most part, he's a completely different character. And so hopefully they do the right thing and they really lean into that writing more.
It's Dave. They'll lean on it. They'll 100%.
Well, I mean, he's done it right the entire time. Like, I don't think they're gonna I really don't think that the issue was Christian Haydenson. I did it every time.
Hayden Christensen. You had it right the first time.
I did. I did it the wrong time last time, and I tried to correct myself this time, and then did it wrong again. Damn it, Kevin.
You're overthinking.
I'm overthinking. So if they bring him back, I really don't think it was him. I think it was the writing. I think he got kind of screwed. So hopefully I really, really hope this is his redemption, because he's been enough of a meme in the Star Wars community. I really, really hope this is his moment.
I only have one thing to say to that.
What?
You will try.
Oh God. That was good. You were.
Did my voice crack enough?
A little bit.
Good.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, though, after that, he does pick it up, and the final part of that scene when he screams, "I hate you." That's a good "I hate you" scream. I'll give him that.
Good. I mean, I think
my heart breaks during that scene.
It's so frustrating because it's there are good parts and bad parts of episode 3. Episode 2 is just a mess.
Hayden's very good at being, how do I put this? He always seems distracted and I mean this in a good way because of his character. When you look at most Jedi, they're so happy to be, which leads into our further stuff with High Republic and the way Jedi would normally act. They're always very proud of themselves. They carry themselves well, most. And Hayden always, you could tell he always has this dark thought in the back of his mind, no matter what he's doing or how he's operating. And the only time that seems to go away is when he's around Padme, unless Padme triggers it, when he's talking about the sand people to her. And little things like that. But he always just seems distracted, like he's got this dark thought, which he does in the back of his mind at all times. I saw a hilarious TikTok the other day that it said, shit's about to go down when you hear, and it's the music right before Order 66. You know the music I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I can't recall it, but I know I
can't even hum it because I'll ruin it. But
I know what you mean.
It's when everyone's looking out the window and you're just waiting for the calm. It's the calm before the storm.
Yep.
But yeah, he this could be his redemption. This could be the thing that okay, he's no longer a meme. And I think that's probably why he signed on for this, because they are going to do flashbacks and bring, it's going to be great to see if they do the flashbacks, both of them in that Jedi armor.
It's going to be so dope.
All over the galaxy. But I think when we speculated about what the show is going to be, my joke was always what are we going to do? Just watch Obi-Wan age for 20 something years in the desert of Tatooine? So flashbacks make sense. Plus we just got them in Book of Boba Fett too.
Yeah. Well, and that was something that I saw on the internet. They were saying that someone was saying that with Obi-Wan, there's going to be actually a lot of off-planet stuff. So I'm wondering, when they say the off-planet stuff, are they referring to the flashbacks? Or are they really going to have Obi-Wan leaving Tatooine multiple times and leaving Luke? You
can tell the story off planet, because if the Inquisitors are hunting Obi-Wan, there's probably a breadcrumb trail.
How does he protect Luke? That's the thing. That's the part that always leaves me to go.
Tatooine's a very big planet, and the Dune Sea is huge.
I guess.
So that.
But you also have to remember that Inquisitors, their whole thing was to sniff out Force sensitive people. So if Luke was already Force sensitive, he was already he could be on their radar. So that's the other thing that's kind of
what if the fragment of that list from Jedi Fallen Order somehow made it back to the Inquisitors?
Oh man,
little things like that you could just incorporate, and they could do that in passing, and then the deep fandom that we're a part of would just explode.
The timeline's be perfect for that too.
Exactly.
Because Obi-Wan and Cal Kestis are right around the same time.
Yeah, and we won't see Cal. Like, get that out of your mind right now.
Yeah, shut up, chat. Stop it. Yeah. I don't want to hear this. Cal Kestis is coming. And, speaking of Cal Kestis, Kevin, there are a bunch of Jedi Fallen Order lightsaber 3D printer files. Just want to throw that out there.
I have one already.
I know, but these are like they are like the ones like making out of plastic. Yours is like metal. This one's like plastic. Anyways, so I got a 3D printer, and I've learned that all I want to do with it is make Star Wars props. So that's what I've been doing. I made this really
many
cool
desks and many shelves, Tim. That's
I made this Darth Vader bust. You guys can't see it. Kevin can.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
it's helmetless Darth Vader too.
Yeah, so it's Anakin, and I was telling my chat yesterday that like having the helmet off is cool because it still shows that he's still Anakin. I love that scene in Return of the Jedi.
Tim and I were talking at the gym yesterday, and he was talking about getting like the airbrush and stuff. I told him he's not a real 3D printer hobbyist until he gets like the Warframe painting center set up, and he starts like, the glasses where like you fold down
the magnifier.
Yes, and you're doing the eye, just one stroke of slight red and yellow, and you're like,
individual brush hair at a time.
Done. Yeah, so that's probably going to be Tim's hobby. I hope I benefit from it, where he just shows up and gives me like, this bust didn't come out 100% the way I want, and I'm like, cool, I don't notice, it's going on my desk.
Yeah, this might be my thing. Maybe I'll do that at GCX. Maybe I'll just have like a little 3D printer corner. I'll just sit there and just paint things, and people can leave me be. They can just watch me paint. It's like Bob Ross.
No, Tim's not doing meet and greets this year. You can go watch him behind the plexiglass. We've set up a living room setup where he just 3D prints all day and drinks coffee. His booth is brought to you by King's Coast Coffee.
Could you imagine?
That's it. That's just, it's like you're like in a zoo and people just sit there and watch you exist and 3D print.
Oh, it's so interesting. Wow. Oh my God.
That's what you should do on your channel while you're gone. You should just have it like set up for like a 4-day print.
Oh my God. Just build the biggest thing.
Leave it live.
You're like, oh, the print's going to fail. Save.
Oh my God. That'd be such good content.
Anyways.
So 2 fights. I don't know what the 2 could be. That's my thing.
So we keep on talking about Inquisitor. So I would assume that would be like around 1 fight. I would assume like that'll be like a Vader and Obi-Wan meetup with where like the Inquisitor gets introduced. I would assume, and then you'll have one more big fight probably at the end when it's just Obi-Wan and Vader, and then Obi-Wan kicks Vader's ass, and Vader flies off, and then that leads us to what he says to Obi-Wan on the Death Star in episode 4 of last time I was but the apprentice, now I am the master. I think that's because they have to fix that line. That line's all kinds of weird. And everyone always goes back to that. Like Star Wars TikTok always rips that one apart, and they're trying to figure out how it ties into Obi-Wan. So,
we were discussing who could be in the show. Tim and I both think Ahsoka will show up.
Oh, 100%, dude. Most definitely.
Because it'll bridge the gap in them existing in a Empire post-Republic world, and it makes sense for them that they would know that they were alive. Now we know that the Jedi weren't keeping contact.
Oh wait, but hold on, just real quick. Go back to the scene in Rebels where Ahsoka is flying around in her fighter, and Anakin's chasing her, and they feel each other. She's
Great scene.
Sorry.
Great scene.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So was that the first time that they she recognized who that was?
Well,
I'm trying to recall that scene. I don't remember it.
There's a few ways to look at it. That scene to me was like, oh my God, she's still alive.
Right.
But there was not enough explanation there to really go beyond assuming that. That was also the first time we saw them together. So it wouldn't be too far drawn, especially based on Ahsoka's book, to assume that Vader knows she's alive on the run. It's just more of being in her presence almost.
I wonder then if Ahsoka will not interact with Vader and Ahsoka will interact with Obi-Wan.
With the Inquisitors.
Or the Inquisitors in that show.
But the Inquisitors would tell him that
there's a Jedi
alive
out there or someone. Yeah. Because they might not know who Ahsoka Tano is. They might just assume it might just be another Togruta Jedi.
They established in the Malachor fight that that's one of his weaknesses is Ahsoka.
Yeah, of course.
So they would really have to be careful to put them both on the screen at the same time.
I just don't think they're going to pull a lot into the Ahsoka when this is more about the connection between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
But I still think we'll see her in some fashion.
Sure. No, I agree. I just don't think it'll be a big part. I don't think it'll be something where it's like, because again, that rebel scene where they notice each other for the first time, that has so much weight to it that I don't think they want to take away from that moment.
The other Jedi, this is my far-fetched prediction, but if you wanted to introduce someone to a broader audience that could be alive, that would make sense. Quinlan Vos, the dude with the yellow face paint, like the wild man Jedi.
The guy jumps out of transport ships and stuff.
Yeah, so I did a little research on him last week because I was thinking like he would actually make sense to still be alive. And,
sure.
So there is no canon death for him. He actually struggled with the dark side because he was captured and Dooku manipulated his mind and so he actually worked for Dooku for a little while, but then ended up returning to the light side.
Interesting.
And then he was off world during the sacking of Coruscant, or the Jedi Temple, I should say, not sacking Coruscant's Old Republic. The attack on the Jedi Temple during Order 66. He was off world. So he's another one. If anyone could have survived and still be alive, it would be him. He's known well enough that you could introduce him in a way that he could be framed as a new character, but folks like you and me would be like, oh, it's Quinlan Vos,
Yeah.
So he's another one that I think, again, get Cal Kestis out of your mind. He's way too young for this.
I still think Cal and that crew, they're just going to live in video games.
Did you know that Cal's, what's his mentor's name? In the game, she's Savathun.
Wait, are we talking about the woman or are we talking about the
woman? I'm looking up the cast list now. I forget her name.
What is
Deborah
her name?
Wilson. Thank you. My God, that was bothering me. She used to be on Mad TV back in the day.
Yeah. I always wondered why she looked familiar.
Savathun.
Oh, the voice actress. Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, she's Savathun now. She has like crazy neck tattoos. She's so cool. I want to be Deborah Wilson when I grow up. I could see like Quinlan Vos is like my, how I like to make my long shot. Maybe this person will show up.
Sure.
Like Cad Bane showing up. Right. It's similar in fashion. While Quinlan is a little bit less recognizable than Cad Bane, don't get me wrong. The casual Star Wars fan.
Yeah, but he has a really cool presence in like his episode in Clone Wars was really, really cool.
100%.
So
Quinlan had like 3 episodes in Clone Wars and he just seemed like the maniac. He reminded me of remember when like X Games and Extreme Rules first came out and all that stuff back in the day where it was like, oh, we're jumping out of planes, oh, we're doing this stuff, almost what Jackass ended up parodying.
Mm-hmm.
He reminds me of that type of guy, like the guy like, yeah, let's go snowboard and I'm gonna jump out of the helicopter and go down the mountain.
Yeah, exactly. The guy who go wrestle a goddamn tiger.
Yeah, exactly. So he's my long shot prediction. Ahsoka feels like we'll see her at minimum with some sort of contact. Do you think we will see and this is brought up by one of the users that tweeted at us. I'm sorry, I forgot your handle. They had mentioned that at the end of Revenge of the Sith, Leia's dad, Bail, basically said, like, we can't contact each other anymore. We're going to go into hiding. Do you think they'll break that rule and bring Bail back to talk to Obi-Wan or to warn him or something like that? Even if it's just like a hologram of Jimmy Smits, like, I know I said I wouldn't call you, but you're in grave danger. The Inquisitor, I got word that the Inquisitors are on to you.
Yeah,
like
I would assume so. Or someone like one of like a spy or someone like brings him like a message.
Could Cassian?
No. Yes.
He's too young?
Yes, he could.
No, he could.
Ooh.
No, he's dead.
Wait. No, he's not. He's alive.
No, it didn't happen yet. You're right.
He's alive, Kevin. Kevin, that's how you cross those shows. 100% Cassian Andor shows up.
So Cassian could be the one that like warns him.
Dude, okay, we didn't even think about a Cassian crossover. Why wouldn't you use that as a marketing tool to talk about your next show?
Yeah, because he's still alive. Because he dies when the planet.
He dies when Death Star 1 shows up and blows up.
Like 5 minutes before A New Hope starts, he's dead. Because Rogue One leads literally to the back door of A New Hope.
Right in episode 4. Yeah, why wouldn't Cassian show up? We didn't even think about that.
Also, they referenced, I forget who from Lucas referenced that is the Vader that we will see in this series.
Yeah, they talk about how
Rogue One Vader,
the angry, aggressive, just killing
ruthless,
everybody Vader,
the comic Vader that you've been enjoying.
Who Vader's supposed to be,
but tormented.
Right, Kevin. His entire suit is designed to make him upset and angry.
I still think that fan video where they attack him on Naboo when he goes to Padme's grave is I know it's not canon, but I don't care. I'm going to believe it's canon because I don't give a damn. That to me is Vader. The tortured
he does
soul.
Go to her grave and he does kill the guards that are there. So, I mean, it's close.
Yeah. And the just that tortured soul and like, why in the earth would the Republic think that the rebellion think that a good place to attack him is there?
Well, that was
I guess they don't know though, right?
No, they were just there guarding it. But that would be like the comic strip. The comic strip where he's just like, drop your weapon, Vader, you're surrounded. And he says, no, all I'm surrounded by is fear and dead men. And it's like 40 rebel soldiers and tanks and stuff that are just surrounding him. So good.
That didn't the Emperor hide the fact that Anakin was Vader?
Yes.
So no one would actually know. So him going to Padme's...
Everybody saying that Anakin was dead was because they were telling everyone that Anakin Skywalker died.
Right. Because that was more impactful to the propaganda than saying that they turned him.
Because Anakin Skywalker was the hero of the Clone Wars.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you kill the hero, it's far more impactful than it is to turn the hero.
Yes, that's how we get the classic, you'll be the death of me someday, Anakin.
Mm.
It's one of my favorite lines in the prequels.
You know what, Kevin? I've never actually
correlated
that line.
I can't remember if it's you'll be the death of me or you're going to be the death of me, but it's one of those two.
That's in episode 2, right?
Yeah. Yeah. When they're on that mission on Dooku's ship. When they're saving the Emperor.
That's the beginning of episode 3.
Oh yeah, you're right. Is it episode 2? I can't remember. It's one of those.
Whatever,
two,
but still, he said, "Oh man, that's funny."
He says you're going to be the death of me someday.
Yikes.
Yeah. No. I watched a hilarious thing. It might have been a little old, but Ewan McGregor was on a talk show, and he was talking about how he's driving his daughters to school, and this someone else going to the school was like driving really erratic, and he was getting really mad, and he pulled up next to them, and he rolled down his window and he's like, "Oi!" And he's like, "You're driving like a fucking idiot," or something like that. And he's like, "I saw this boy's face and he just stared back at me and he looked at me and I could tell in his brain," he was like, "That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi." The way he tells the story is amazing. He's like, "I could just see."
That's really good.
In his mind, he was like, "That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi."
That's really, really good.
But yeah, no, it's May is going to be wild on Star Wars and Scotch. Wild. We're gonna have May the 4th. You'll probably hear me and Tim talk about Multiverse of Madness. He hates when I cross the streams, but we'll probably won't be able to help ourselves. And then we're gonna have the Obi-Wan first episode. Celebration starts literally the day after the Obi-Wan episode. And then the next week, Tim, is it the next week or 2 weeks? That GCX?
It's right after it.
Is it the week after?
It's literally right after it, Kevin.
Obi-Wan is
Obi-Wan and then
May 20th,
and then it's GCX.
2 weeks later, GCX.
No, there was something else, and then right after that, aren't we doing something?
Obi-Wan is the 25th, right, of May.
Oh, I'm thinking of episode 2. Sorry, episode 2, and then we're going right into GCX.
Yeah.
My apologies.
By the way, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that yet.
Shut up, Kevin.
From that person.
Don't spoil anything.
Also, remember when we were like, we'll go to Celebration this year? We decided not to go to Celebration. A, because it was a little too close to GCX. B, Tim and I weren't sure with the COVID situation. But good thing I didn't book that, Tim, because my anniversary is that Sunday.
Oh my God, Kevin!
So you would have been spending my 11th wedding anniversary with
that would have been so. That would have been so awkward. Man,
why we would have went to Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm. It would have been great.
Man, you would have been so divorced.
I don't know. If I was in LA, I could just take her to like Palm Springs or some shit for the day, and I would have smoothed.
Oh, you were gonna bring her with you?
Yeah, we would.
You were gonna make me be the third wheel?
No, we would have brought Amy too.
Oh,
that was the whole plan, Tim.
Oh, I thought you were saying that originally you and I were gonna be spending your anniversary together.
Oh, no,
and I was like, Kevin,
no.
This is a terrible idea.
No,
and
no,
then
no,
you
no,
said
no,
you're
no.
bringing your wife, and then I'm the third wheel, and this is super awkward. I'm so glad we figured this out because wow. All right, cool.
Last bit of Obi-Wan news, early May, so I'm assuming May the 4th, but no date yet. Obi-Wan comic #1 releases.
Ooh, who's doing that one?
It's actually going to journal his beginning, his training with Qui-Gon.
We're going to have to do these.
Yeah, no, so we're going to start the comic stuff next week. Tim's, and I've already caught up, but I'm going to go back and read with Tim. We're going to finish the original High Republic one that we started with the Drengir and everything. We'll plow through that. We'll do the High Republic Detective one because it's freaking awesome. And then we'll start hitting some of the Bounty Hunter and some of the older ones and Vader and whatnot. So that's going to be the plan starting next week with the comics. One thing before we get into High Republic, Galactic Star Cruiser. So they've been bringing lot of the writing teams and whatnot. Most of the reviews are positive. I still side with Tim to an extent that it does look a little cheesy at times. So I'm still not sure if it's worth the price tag. So that's the only reason Tim and I are being apprehensive. Of course we want to go. Of course we want to spend the money and experience it and report back to all of you. I can see Tim and I doing this possibly with Ben later this year. And I'm going to phrase it this way, as a work trip.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We're not sure yet. We're waiting to see. But a lot of the celebrities from the Star Wars universe, the High Republic authors all went. What's her name? Who did the voice of Ahsoka? I can't remember her name. It's bothering me.
Oh, darn it.
Ahsoka. Ashley Eckstein was there yesterday or the day before.
Cool.
So people are enjoying it. One thing that leaked out is apparently part of the story while you're there is Rey and Kylo's like love story.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
no.
On the Disney Parks Twitter, it says there is a love story on board, and we'll get to see some of the characters that we know and love from the films, including Rey and Kylo, who will actually meet up again, probably for the first and maybe the only time between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker.
That's so stupid. That's so dumb.
Not a fan.
No, not a fan at all. God damn it.
So I still don't know. The verdict is not out. I agree with the tweet still, and I have yet to be proven wrong, that Disney didn't make an attraction for Star Wars fans. They made an attraction for rich people who think Star Wars is neat.
Yeah.
So we're being apprehensive and cautious on this one. Normally,
it's so
Tim
frustrating because there's
like
there are parts of me that love Black Spire Outposts, and then there's also parts of me that just like don't. There's parts like, I wish that it didn't feel so microtransaction-y, you know, like to that point where you said like, you know, it's, you know, for people who have like that disposable income, not really for like the diehard Star Wars fans, which I get. I mean, like, you know, at the end of the day, Star Wars is for kids. But damn, yeah. And I'm sure a lot of that comes down for like the overall hype for the park, and like Disney hasn't had a lot of new stuff in a while. So
yeah,
I'm sure that'll die down.
Will it though?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I hope so.
So we asked a bunch of you to review Star Wars and Scotch on Apple Podcasts, and there's no reviews.
Oh.
we had thousands of people listen to last week's episode. I have a feeling that people are not listening on Apple, and Apple's one of the only sites that has accessible reviews. I have a feeling a lot of people are listening through different sites. So do us a favor. Just tweet it, me, Tim, and Star Wars and Scotch. Let us know where you listen to the show. I'd be very curious to see what folks do. We also have Facebook if you want to drop it on there.
I was going to say, watch. It's going to be like my chat on Facebook, and they're like, I'm gonna hey, just like I'm gonna do this tweet later, and they're like, what's Twitter?
I'm here from Tim's Thirst Trap TikTok with the lightsaber.
I've actually been getting a decent amount of traffic from TikTok. They're like, hey, I found you on TikTok. You're pretty cool. Like, oh, that's awesome. Works out pretty well.
Maybe we should just start putting the
I'm just gonna start doing more thirst traps on TikTok, I think.
Yeah. I think because Max wants us to bring video back too. I think that we can do some clips of Tim and send them to him for his TikTok too during the show. So, like when you were showing off your bust there. See, I didn't specify what bust, so now your chat's gonna be like, Tim took his shirt off.
No.
Oh my God. So yeah, there's a love story on Galactic Star Cruiser, possibly between Rey and Kylo, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we knew it's there, but I just don't like that they're using the Galactic Star Cruiser as like this platform to tell this love story that was already kind of awkward. That like just didn't feel right, and well, here we are. I don't know.
Tim, this comes from StarWars.com. Chart the history of the galaxy in Star Wars timelines exclusive. A new visual guide will chart in-galaxy events. You ready? From the time before the High Republic to the fall of the First Order.
Oh.
So Disney has made a new book that chronicles everything from the beginning of the High Republic all the way to the rise of Skywalker.
Yes. So finally.
It's called Star Wars Timelines.
Now when people ask me when this thing is, I can just be like, it's right here.
It's in the book.
It's in the book. Oh, I'm so happy.
So that exists.
StarWarsTimelines.com, the complete Star Wars timeline.
All right, we're entering into the spoiler zone. Do you have an effect you can use for spoiler zone on your
hold on.
Okay, that works.
Does that work?
I couldn't hear anything.
You didn't hear that?
No.
Oh, it played through on well that's hold on. Wait a second.
No, you don't have to I can make it I could do my own sound effect if you want. It's fine.
No. This is very important, Kevin. It's
okay.
It's really it's very, very important.
It's very important to him.
It's you know what? Just pretend that you heard the X-File theme song.
I heard the X-File theme song.
Okay,
it was great when he did that. It was great, the X-File theme song. So, High Republic Fallen Star. It's the beginning of phase 2 of the High Republic storytelling. We also got word that supposedly the second High Republic show is in pre-production. So we may find out more about that at Celebration. I have a feeling there's probably a High Republic video game or something. Well, we had the rumor one. I did have one of our listeners, Mike, reach out asking about how I referenced that there was a story coming from the High Republic, or maybe not from High Republic, about the female lead that was taking place in like alternate timeline. That came during the announcements last year when they dropped all of that video game news in one day.
Yeah.
That there was some studio that was supposedly working on something like that. I couldn't find the article. But that was just a quick note. We haven't heard anything on it since, just to clarify that. Back to High Republic Fallen Star. So we pick up Starlight Beacon. Everything's hunky-dory. We know that, by the way, Markion.
Yeah, we talked about this the other episode.
Markion
they changed it.
Has the Leveler. Now, the Leveler seems to be more than one beast by the time we get through this book.
Yeah.
It seems to be multiple. Yeah, and we've had speculation in our community Discord about what it could be. You know, Tim and I said it might be the Terentitech from the Old Republic games, or it could be, you know, some other new version of it. But these things cripple and destroy Jedi. I mean, we lost two of the, in my opinion, critical characters from High Republic Phase 1.
Why did they kill everybody?
Well, Orla died, and Orla was the original Wayseeker, and then Tim sent me an article like referencing that Ahsoka might be the new version of the Wayseeker.
So I think what they're trying to do with the whole Wayseeker thing is that's how they are going. Like, that's going to be the gray Jedi. Like, it's not going to be considered gray anymore. That if you are of like no alignment, good or bad, you are just kind of like this person who walks the middle, that you will you will just be considered, and you are of the Jedi Order, but not a part of the Jedi Order. Like what's the best way to explain a Wayseeker, Kevin? Because
she doesn't belong to a specific temple, so
but she is of the Order. Like, she believes like within like certain parameters.
So the council can dub you a Wayseeker, which means you don't have to have allegiance, and you actually don't. You can kind of carve your own path as a Jedi. And
so she's like Ronin.
Essentially that kind of version of it. But you're allowed to go about the galaxy and do Jedi work without the attachment of a temple and others to assist you. You're kind of a loner, like you said, a Ronin. So she's going around.
But they dabble on both sides. They don't. They're not. Their alignment isn't.
The whole point of her becoming a Wayseeker was that she disagreed with some of the practices that the council was telling her, but not to the point where they wanted to ostracize her from the Order. So instead of, kicking her out, they dub her a Wayseeker, giving her, permission and credentials to go around, do good, and kind of carve her own path. So I'm sure if we learn more about Orla, that's what it would be. That's kind of a gray Jedi, though, in the sense of, still being recognized by the Order. If you go back to Old Republic and you meet Jolie Bindo on Kashyyyk, he left the Order.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Fuck all y'all.
Well, I mean, and that's what Ahsoka did.
Yes. Yeah.
Ahsoka was like, if you guys are trying to actually kill me for something I didn't do and you couldn't believe me, so middle finger to y'all and bye-bye.
So, it's but now Orla's dead.
Yeah.
She got killed by the leveler.
Dust. She's just dust in the wind.
So yeah, Orla is gone now, which that shocked me.
I really liked her character. She was a Wayseeker. She had a double-bladed lightsaber. I really liked the way that Mark Thompson voiced her. I was really hoping for her to stick around for a while. I can't believe they just killed her.
Yeah, I was legitimately shocked. She was a good character. The other character that shocked me dying was Stellan. I thought Stellan was like one of the core components of
I like
the High
way
Republic.
that he went, though. I thought he
went down with the ship.
That was admirable. He needed that redemption, though, because he was kind of a dick the entire time.
He was the haughty, the annoying
he was a dick up until
members.
The very end. He didn't even give the poor little Nihil engineer a chance. She just cut her in half.
But you did see, Elzar did that.
Was that Elzar Man who did that?
Yeah, Elzar, because he let his anger take control.
You're right. Never mind. Continue.
So, but you saw Stellan's weak point was Elzar and Avar.
Oh, of course. Well, because they kind of made like a triad.
Yeah, they were like best. Elzar and Avar obviously in love. Stellan was the third wheel, but they were his best friends.
I loved how he admitted that he knew.
Oh yeah,
and
he didn't care.
Wait, you knew? Of course I knew.
Yeah. So, but Stellan felt like he was core to everything, especially after everything that happened at the Republic Fair. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, this guy's here to stay.
Sure.
And he went down with that damn ship. And then they had Avar show up back with Elzar. Oh man, and they were definitely giving into their emotions a little bit, which is wild.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you?
I'm not a Jedi, and I would never be one. I would be at minimum a Wayseeker if the Order would accept me. It's from a Jedi perspective, they're going down an interesting path. Elzar was trying to deal with his relationship with the dark side in the beginning of the book with Orla off-world.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And she was trying to teach him how to handle it. And she was doing exactly what you said, Tim. She was saying, like, to an extent, you have to embrace it.
Yeah, well, she constantly said to him, like, you're being forceful. Like, you are trying to control an ocean. And like, how can you control an ocean? You can't. You have to flow with it. And so and that's a lot of what she was talking about. Is just like, and sometimes you flow one way and you go the other. And like, when you get angry, like, it's okay to kind of lean into it a little bit. Like, I really liked how they just postured her up in this story, because it was just to your point, Kevin. Like, she's like they they are definitely treating her like this gray Jedi, and I like it. I like how they're establishing it, because then it kind of fixes everything else going forward.
Yeah, and it goes back again to Jolie from Old Republic. He was very much, I will always do the right thing, but how do you expect me to walk into battle and not harness my anger to defeat my opponent? He had a wife, he had children.
To have attachment and stuff is like so important.
Well, he actually, if you have the deep conversations with him in the game and you can unlock certain things, he actually talks about how important love is and how important, to existence and the Force, having a wife, having children, because he said it gives the Force meaning.
Sure.
Which is so freaking deep. He's like one of the best Jedi to ever exist, even though he's not canon. But he talks about how it gives the Force meaning. And I think Orla had some sort of experience with that as well. Like, she felt like her life had more purpose. She felt like she belonged because of the way she was living and helping someone like Elzar, who was one of her best friends. Now, Elzar, he's struggling more. And in this book, he loses his two best friends. So all he has left is Avar, which leads me to think that Avar will not survive phase 2 or phase 3. And we're going to get our Sith by the end of all of this. And I know that Yoda says we haven't seen the Sith in 1,000 years. And I stick to my guns on this.
You're still holding on to this hard.
I'm holding on to them, sweeping it under the rug. Like the same way Yoda was like, no one must know about the twins.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen in some sort of, and Yoda and the council is going to be like, we can't tell anyone about this. People can't know that the Sith have returned. Man. And sweep it under the rug and never talk about it again. Yeah. And I have a feeling Elzar is going to be the catalyst to this at some point.
Ooh, okay.
Because everyone hinges on that fallen Jedi story.
Yeah.
You always want the evil being that was evil the whole time to somehow take over the susceptible Force user.
Yeah.
And turn them. So there's dark power somewhere lurking in the universe outside of Markion, which, by the way, Markion has its own comic now that and we'll go through it, that gives his origin story. So we get background. I haven't read that one yet, but it's in there. So interestingly enough, too, speaking of Yoda, I'm in Midnight Horizon, which is an okay book. You
keep on saying you're not very impressed with it.
It's okay. It's not great.
Who wrote it?
Jose Daniel Older.
Okay, so not one of our normal authors.
He's part of the High Republic crew.
Yeah, but he not like who did Fallen Star?
Charles Soule. I think Charles Soule did Fallen Star.
This was Claudia Gray. So like Claudia Gray, her books have been phenomenal.
Yeah, no. Jose did some of the IDW comics.
Cavan Scott did Tempest Runner. Cavan Scott also did The Rising Storm, which was a good one. Rising Storm was good.
Rising Storm was very good.
Into the Dark was also Claudia Gray, and then Charles Soule did Light of the Jedi. So this guy's new as far as like writing books.
He was the one who authored the IDW comics that have like buckets of blood and Yoda in them.
Got it. Okay.
So he was the background. He actually created Buckets of Blood because he said he used to work as an EMT, and there was another EMT that they called Buckets of Blood, and that's how he got the name.
Oh my God, that's a terrible name. Why would you want to name an EMT?
They joke about that at the beginning of Midnight Horizon. They joke about the name and like how like it could be construed as, this guy loves to kill people, but he helps people. It's funny. Anyway, so they constantly talk about Yoda because one of Yoda's Padawans is in the book, and they talk about how everyone misses Master Yoda, but no one has seen him and no one knows where he went.
Yeah.
The whole book, they keep referencing it over and over again. Like, oh, I wish Yoda was here right now. He could help us. Or, oh, Yoda would have the wisdom to deal with the situation. Or, oh, Yoda taught me this. It's the first time that they've referenced Yoda this many times over and over and over again. So I think we're leading up to something big with him in the High Republic storytelling. Back to Fallen Star. The one thing that I took away from this is the Nihil.
Mm-hmm.
Markian obviously has reformed the Nihil. He got rid of some of the Tempest Runners.
Okay, well, hold on. He didn't just reform.
He took over
the Nihil. he like took over and then turned his entire crew into a bunch of robots.
Yes.
Can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah. New droids that we haven't seen before. The whole crew. There's a scene in, I can't remember if it's Old Republic or Knights of the Old Republic, where they do the same thing. Basically, I think it's the Sith are taking human. Yeah, it's the Sith. I forget what planet it is. I think it might be Balmora, but they're basically taking human brains and putting them into droids. And you talk to one of the droids, and if you pick the light side options, they're talking like they keep going between their programming and their self, and they're like, "This is horrifying." Like, you know, I can't control this. I'm in constant pain.
That's terrifying.
It's wild. So I have a feeling
though, I don't think they're cyborgs. I think they're full droids, because he made the comment. He's like, "There's no one here to backstab me. There's no one here to try to take advantage of me. There's no," like, he was constantly saying like, there's no way these droids could double cross me, because that's what he was afraid of. He knew like Lorna D and everybody else that he's ever entrusted as his lieutenants have always tried to one up him and try to take over as leader of the Nihil, and he didn't want that. So that's why these droids came into play. But I like it, that would be really interesting if they were cyborgs, if he just like ripped the brains out of a bunch of people and just like slammed them into robots.
He's becoming more and more ruthless and sadistic, so
very much so.
And he's banging that one Republic senator too.
Oh my God! And he hates her.
Yeah,
he absolutely hates her.
What a great villain!
I know, he's fantastic.
What a great villain! Like he's literally anger banging a Republic senator as he tries to
and
take
she's
down
very
the Republic.
proud of it.
Oh yeah,
she's so proud of
till the
this.
end.
Yeah. Well,
when she finds out what he's doing.
Well, sure.
Markion doesn't trust anyone anymore. Rightfully so, to be honest. Everyone in the Nihil has basically backstabbed someone at one point or another. Although reading the Lorna D book shows you how royally screwed she's been over her life, so I don't blame her for a lot of the stuff she's done.
Yeah, of course.
But so Markion is. The thing that gets me with Markion is I can't predict his next step.
No, he's very unpredictable. He has gone through this wild evolution from when we first met him to where he is now. He went from kind of like this, I want to say softer individual, but he was definitely more so like he was reliant on other people. Mm-hmm. He had the one person that he was using for the paths, and he had all of his runners and Tempest, all of these people that he relied on, and quickly became very much so reliant on himself, and knew that there was no one's going to help him. And then all of a sudden he starts taking lightsabers and killing off everybody. Like it's crazy to see how quickly he just kind of like exploded.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where he's going. Like, I don't know what he's doing. I can't even tell you what his plan is, unless he's literally taking a page out of the Joker from DC's book, and it's just chaos.
I mean, maybe this is the High Republic's version of a Joker.
Yeah, like some men just want to watch the world burn, like, mentality.
But that's what it feels like when he made the comment of like when Mark said no one was allowed to watch, or no one got the satisfaction of watching Starlight Beacon fall except for Markion. Like that,
yeah.
Like that's
because he wouldn't let any of the Nihil ships in the
he didn't
sector.
want anyone in the like near the planet. He didn't want anyone in the area. He only wanted to watch it by himself.
Yep,
it's wild.
And he did it. Think about it. He did it with just the levelers and 5 Nihil.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all it took for him to take down all of Starlight Beacon.
Those levelers are terrifying, though.
It seems that the Jedi have no defense for them.
No, and their range of suppression is absolutely insane. Like, Bell was getting suppressed by those things like outside in space. Like, he's still pretty far away, and when he was trying to go back into the spaceship, and he could feel it. Like, all of a sudden all the dread and despair and everything hit him. So like, it's crazy how long it took for them to realize that there was a problem. That was the one part that kept throwing me off, is like it was very slow with the progression of like insanity.
Did you enjoy the Rathtar reference?
I did. I really did. That was really fun. It reminded me of episode 7.
Yeah, I was like, oh, there's more than one of them on the ship. That's fun.
They used they used sound effects from the movie as well. It was so good.
So the the other two main characters of this High Republic, and especially this book, Burry and Bell.
Yeah.
Talk about like having the worst luck. They're always in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I like them. They're fun.
Anyone they have some attachment to seems to end up dead at some point.
Yeah.
Like,
or
Bell,
they end up almost dead.
Between Orla dying and then Bell had, what was his master's name? The Twi'lek.
Wait, Loden Greatstorm?
Loden Greatstorm. Like, Bell's at some point, is he going to start blaming himself that everyone he ever like cares about ends up dead?
I mean, that was brought up in this book.
Could you imagine if Cinder dies?
Oh, Kevin.
He's going to lose
Not
it.
the puppy dog.
It's a Charhound.
It's still a dog. Please don't touch the puppy dog.
But yeah, and then Burry wasn't Burry's master was killed in the first one, in the first book.
Yeah, she blew up in a ship, right?
Yeah, during the
fight.
Yeah, during one of the space battles.
She explodes.
So, you know, it's just these poor Padawans. Are they Padawans or knights?
Oh, no, they're still Padawans because they got referred to as Padawans multiple times. I wonder, Kevin, is like, are these kids going to defect because they've gone through so much trauma and they're just going to be like, fuck this, I'm out.
Well, at some point, someone, whoever, and I think they're setting up for speculation, like whoever is going to defect has to learn of the Sith somehow.
Yeah.
The Drengir to me are the link back to the Sith.
Yes.
So at some point, someone's going to go searching for the Drengir and end up finding a holocron or something. Wouldn't be shocked if it was like Darth Bane, explaining why he made the rule of the two, because we're idiots. All we want is power and only two can reign at a time, but power can, I forget what the line is from the old book, but he explains it in detail as to why the rule of the two works and you can reign over others. Obviously they've skirted the rule of the two with things like Inquisitors and whatnot, but it's the same concept between Padawan, Jedi Knight and stuff. It takes a lot to be a Sith. So, you can still be a dark force user.
Yeah, the whole Inquisitor thing, you're right. It is weird how they were able to skirt around that little rule.
They're not Sith.
They're not Sith, right? They're just force users.
Yeah, they're dark force users. Same with the Witches of Dathomir.
Right.
They're just dark force users.
I just think that's just funny. But you're right.
Just like
it's very interesting.
In Clone Wars and Rebels, we meet light force users on other planets that aren't Jedi.
Right, exactly. But for the longest time, when we were as Star Wars fans, we were always just taught it was Sith and Jedi.
Yeah, if you have a red lightsaber, you're automatically a Sith.
Exactly. It was good and bad. If you had a green, purple, blue, any of those colors that wasn't red, you were Jedi.
Yep. So the storytelling in this book was great. I really enjoyed the journey.
It was very fun. It was a lot better than the last book. I was actually able to finish this book and enjoy it instead of the weird pacing that was the previous one.
Yeah.
That was rough. This one's much better.
We Midnight Horizon goes into, it's a whole story on Corellia, and it's about like the Corellia, Corsac and the underground and all of this stuff. Comac is back. Reith is back. Ram from the Republic Fair book is back.
Oh, so some fun characters are in here.
Yeah, and then there's a new Jedi that's with Comac that's telling Comac over the course of the book the story of how, I still haven't learned it, but his love story basically, and how, he's still with the Order, so I assume that he didn't follow through with it. I don't know. But yeah. So I'm enjoying this story. I'm ready for the next big move in the High Republic, because it seems like big book, little story, big book, little story. So I'm ready for the next big move, but I don't think it comes out till July.
I would say that this book, I understand why they wrote it. Like, we needed closure. Knowing from a higher level, what they're doing, knowing that this was the closing of phase 1. So this was kind of like the pilot series, if you will. Like, this was kind of like the trial run. And then now we're going into phase 2, where they start to solidify a lot of the mechanics and the stories. And then we carry on so that we can prepare for TV shows and things like that. So I just wish this would have had a bigger, I guess more for the lore, Kevin, as far as instead of just closing loops. To your point, I wish we would have had more about Drengir. We had this big book about Sith and Drengir and dark artifacts, all that cool stuff. And then that was really it for a bit. That was my favorite book, going to that space station and seeing all the dark stuff and all the Drengir. I want more of that. That's what I'm really waiting for.
They moved the Drengir to the comics. That's where Avar was.
Right. Then that's what she was off doing.
Right. So you'll learn a little bit more about that.
I just want it in a book form. I want that, like that deep dive lore stuff.
Well, I want to get back to, like you said, I want to understand more about like the dark side of what's happening in the High Republic. Like look at Skier. We kind of just paused Skier's story. Like he was in a place. Yeah. and they do flesh it out a bit more in the comics, but then they looped back to it. I think he was in the beginning of this book, wasn't he?
For a brief moment. Yeah. They mentioned him.
So like he's probably the one I'm most interested in. Like, where are we headed with this? And that's why I said they're like teasing, like you said, who's going to be the defector? Who's not going to be able to handle themselves?
Right.
Skier literally in the comics, I don't know if you got to this part, so it might spoil a little bit, but he connects himself to the hive mind of the Drengir.
Yeah, he gets a hive arm.
Yeah, but he ends up breaking their link.
Yeah.
Because he puts himself in that dark
and
position.
He uses the Force to do it.
But it screws him up permanently. Like he has issues now permanently because he did that to save his Padawan.
And so he'll just phase in and out of consciousness. It's wild.
Yeah, and he's in a place.
Yep.
So his armor will eventually grow back anyway. So
yeah, but it was like part Drengir. Like he infected himself. That was the coolest part.
But yeah, I'm interested in the next part. I think it doesn't come out till July, the next big book.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some time, catch up on the comics, do that. One thing I'm going to do is I want to go back and watch Clone Wars again, do another pass through for chronological. So I'm going to be.
Are you going to watch every episode, or are you going to watch the big ones?
I only do the chronological now.
Got it.
Because the chronological one skips some of the like crappy filler episodes.
Yes, exactly.
And then it also tells
I was
a cohesive story, like. Padme's Rhodian friend, that she calls uncle.
The uncle, what's his name?
Yeah. So like he dies, and then like 10 episodes later, he's just there, and you're like, wait a minute. So if you watch it, if you watch it in this order, he doesn't actually like show up again because you watched it before.
So how do you watch this order?
I'll send you the link. It's on StarWars.com.
Put it. Well, how about we should put that out on Twitter.
Yeah, we can put it out on Twitter.
Yeah, so viewers, if you want to watch this with Kevin, they can do it too. Or maybe we'll make them go join our Discord. What do you make them do? Make them do something, Kevin. They like to be told to do stuff.
All right. Well, they can join our Discord. We'll put the Discord link in on Star Wars Scotch Twitter and Facebook. We will put the episode list, and I'll just be like, hey, we're going to watch 5 episodes this week.
Boom. There you go.
And we'll follow up with them. Cool. Tim and I are going to have some guests in the coming weeks joining us on Star Wars and
I don't even know who they are. Who are they?
Well, we're still confirming with a few, but I know Sawyerism will be back. I believe is it next week that Sawyerism comes back?
Who's that, Kevin?
We had Sawyer on a few months back. Sawyer is one of the top Star Wars TikTokers.
Yeah, she's really good. She does a lot of like anatomy stuff.
Yep.
One of her TikToks that showed up for my For You page was the anatomy of a hut, which was really interesting. That people I didn't know that they have gone that deep into the anatomy of certain alien races for Star Wars. So I found that very interesting.
So we'll be recording with her on March 9th in the evening. So you'll see that episode on the 10th at some point.
Excellent.
Which I'm going to delete the morning recording on the calendar right now, Tim. So we get that morning back. So that episode will be technically a day late. There you go. It's canceled. Your Wednesday morning.
Thanks,
in
Kevin.
March
Thank you for cleaning up my calendar.
Free. But yeah, we'll be back with more of that. We're going to start the comic stuff next week. And if you see any news or anything, you're like, guys, can you talk about this on the show? Send it to us. Twitter, Facebook, doesn't matter. Or Discord, because we're going to put that Discord link out and get you guys into Discord so you can chat. There's also, check this out, in the Rare Drop Community Discord, there's the Star Wars channel.
Yes.
There's a High Republic channel specifically for the books.
Okay.
And the comics. And then there's a spoiler channel where you can talk about whatever you want. So if you go and watch a new episode of Obi-Wan, you're like, I need to communicate with another human who has seen this. You go in the spoiler channel, you drop it in there, and you will get tons of responses from people that have also seen it. And it's a protected place, so it doesn't ruin it for anyone. And it's marked spoiler channel. So if somebody clicks on it, that's on them, not you.
Oh yeah, look at this. You know what? It's been a bit since I've actually looked in here.
Yeah. So you can hop in the spoiler channel and give your things, and then there's other channels to talk about other Star Wars stuff. So we'll put that link out on social media and get you all engaged and involved with some more Star Wars stuff. But for this week, Tim and I are going to sign off. Again, kingscoastcoffee.com. If you want to listen to other episodes of the show, you can go to raredrop.co, click that entertainment drop down, click on Star Wars and Scotch, check out all of it. Hey, if you're a comic lover, you should check out Matt and Frank over on comics. If you are a hockey lover,
you got Coffee and Shell.
We got Coffee and Shell with Cam
no
and
sleeves.
Kesso.
He doesn't wear sleeves ever. It's the weirdest thing. You hand him a shirt, Cam cuts him off.
Nope. I just hung out with him 2 weeks ago at the.
You hand him a dress shirt, he's like, sleeves. Not good enough, rips it apart.
Had sleeves the entire time.
If you're looking for someone who's bald, and really likes talking to really interesting people, and his name's Ben, then head on over to raredrop.co and check out the Broman podcast. Show now. The Broman show. It was the podcast. Now we're show.
We're show.
The last show that we did, he interviewed Hugh Kevin from View.
Daniel, who is the creative director at Diamond View Studios. Ben's going to be sitting down with the sports commissioner of Tampa Bay next month. Jason Augie is the guy who's responsible for getting things like WrestleMania and the Super Bowl to Tampa Bay.
He's a really cool guy, and he has awesome hair.
And he has great stories because he's been doing this for 10 plus years.
Like 20 years, dude.
So he's going to be chatting with Ben about that. And Ben's got some other really cool guests lined up for the rest of the year. And he actually just interviewed Tara. Tara works in the, I believe she's, I forget her title. I'm so sorry, Tara. But she works on accessibility at Xbox.
Oh, I did see that on Twitter. Yes.
Yeah. So Tara used to work at Mixer. I know her from Mixer. But she basically spearheads how is Xbox making games more accessible for people and making sure that everyone can enjoy video games and not just the regular everyday person, but being sensitive to folks that might have some conditions that prevent them from doing certain things in video games. How does Microsoft and Xbox engage with those people and bring them into the fold to enjoy all sorts of games? So you can listen to that interview as well. It was actually really compelling and really good. She loves Alan Wake too. If you want to hear someone talk about Alan Wake.
I love her even more now. I just did my Alan Wake playthrough not too long ago. What a cool game. I'm so mad that I missed out on that when it launched.
That is like Mike from Old Fashions, one of his favorite games of all time.
What a great game.
He almost
looks awesome.
I applied for a creator code for the remaster, and then I was like, "Here you go, Mike." And he was like, "I would kiss you on the mouth right now." Like, you don't have to do that. It's okay. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to episode 72 Star Wars and Scotch. Tim and I will be back next week. Make sure you head over to fb.gg/darkness429 and darkness429 everywhere on the internet.
It is everywhere.
Everywhere. So you can check out everything Tim is working on, and you can go check out his live streams Monday through Friday, 9-ish Eastern.
Ish. Yeah, definitely ish today.
Yes. And we will see you next week. Again, raredrop.co if you want to check out the other stuff. But Tim.
Yes, sir.
Let him have it.
May the force be with you.
Always.